The key to Demi is being able to identify the excess colors in your skin. What does that mean? So if you look at your face, there are areas on your face that you find distracting. The reason that those areas are distracting is that there is an excess of color that's making them stand out. Like, let's say this area on my face. Like when I look at my face, most of it is balanced, but I see that. And that's because there's an excess of color. Demi has a really easy way of being able to identify the excess colors in your distractions. The first question that you'll ask yourself is it excessively dark? Is it darker than your skin tone? Like when you look in the mirror, does it stand out? Can you see it because it's just dark? It looks shadowy, it's darker than everything else around it, like this. If it's dark, it has to have some blue in it, making it one of the darker things on your face. The next question that you'll ask yourself about any given distraction is it excessively saturated? Meaning, is it vibrant? Think hot neon or a saturated picture. It's not dark, but it's vibrant. If it's excessively saturated, that means it has to have red in it. What if it's excessively dark and it's excessively saturated? So if it's excessively dark and it's excessively saturated, you've got violet. And the other color that we will be dealing with is green. So the other question that you would ask yourself is it muddy? Does it look murky or mulchy or dirty or brown? Those areas are most likely melasma or freckles. They probably look brown to you, but they're actually green. So that is how you will be able to identify all the colors. The majority of the colors on your face that are going to be distracting to you, I'll let you in on a little secret. They all have blue in them. So blue has blue in it, violet has blue in it, and green, yellow and blue make green, have blue in it. And that is what makes them dark and stand out. Now, some of you are like, what? I have red in my face. It's actually pretty rare, unless you have a very, very new zit, that you have red on your skin. With red, you want to think red stop sign. Like it's red. It looks hot to the touch. Most likely, if there's an area that looks red on your face, it's actually a violet color and not red. The main focuses that we're going to be dealing with are blue, green, and violet. When you are learning Demi, it's important to be in front of natural light. Natural light will let you see the colors as they actually are. So I want you to sit back from the mirror and we're going to pick 3 things on your face that you find distracting. I know right now that this area right here is distracting to me. This on my chin is distracting. And then there's some darkness in my under eyes that is distracting to me. I picked 3 things, but I'm only gonna show you how I filter out 1 thing for the sake of time. Let's take this first area. Within each area, if it is larger than a sesame seed, that means it has several points in it. So let me give you an example. Like this whole area looks uneven to me, but if we get up close, we can see that there's this point of darkness right here, this point of darkness, this point of darkness, and this. And some of this that's causing this whole area to look uneven. So we have to look at each point, determine what color it is, filter it out, and then sit back and see if it's still distracting. We're gonna start with the darkest point. You always start with the darkest point. I am using the spot brush. This is the brush that I recommend for starting with because it has a very small point. You wanna be able to take the color that you're using to filter out and only put color on the excess color part. If you get outside of the color and you're just like, dabbing what's gonna happen is you're gonna wind up with what we call the halo effect. So you'll take care of the color that's in of excess, but then you're gonna get color outside of that area, and it's gonna brighten that area, making it look like a target, and then you have a whole nother problem to deal with. So while there are several points here, I used to sit here and I used to be like, okay, is it violet? Is it a violet blue? Is it a green blue? Is it just a blue? If it's dark and it's darker than your skin tone, the color that's excess there is blue. So whatever you're going to use is going to be an orange to filter that out. So I'm going to take all the spots that I know have a lot of blue in them, meaning they are very, very dark, and I'm going to use an orange. Then I'm going to take the spots that are kind of muddy, so I know they have some more green in them, and I'm going to use a color that has red and orange in it to cancel out the blue and green. So I'll be using a reddish orange. But first, I'm going to take my orange color and I'm going to deal with all of the blue first, and I'm only going to touch color to color. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the green. So that's the area that's dark, but it also has some muddiness to it. So I'm going to use a reddish orange to filter that area. Let's sit back and let's see, is it still distracting? It looks a lot more balanced, right? And that's what we're going for. We're taking out the excess color so that we can balance the area, and then it no longer looks distracting. It just looks like beautiful skin. But that's the basics on how to get started. Let me know if you have any questions, and I can't wait to show you more.